The meeting to order. Welcome to the organizational meeting of the West Clermont Local School District Board of Education. Can we all stand for the pledge, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our first order of business is to administer the oath of office to our two newly elected board members, Ms. Tina Sanborn and Mrs. Tammy Spencer. We will do this one at a time, first with Tina Sanborn. Mr. Romano, will you administer the oath of office to Ms. Sanborn?
You could raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I
Tina Sanborn,
swear that I will support
swear that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and that I will perform
and that I will perform
faithfully the duties of a member
faithfully the duties of a member
of the Board of Education
of the Board of Education
of the West Clermont Local School District,
of the West Clermont Local School District,
Clermont County, Ohio,
Clermont County, Ohio,
to the best of my
to the
ability,
best of my ability,
in accordance with the laws
in accordance with the laws
now in effect and hereafter,
now in effect and hereafter
to be enacted during my continuance
to be enacted during my continuance
in said office,
and said office
and until my successor
until my successor
is elected and qualified,
is elected and qualified.
so help me God.
So help me God. Thank you.
Congratulations, Ms. Sanborn, and welcome to the West Clermont Board of Education.
Thank you.
Mr. Romano, will you now administer the oath of office to Mrs. Spencer?
Please raise your right hand.
I, Tammy Spencer,
Swear that I will support the Constitution
swear that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and that I will perform faithfully
and that I will perform faithfully
the duties of a member
the duties of a member
of the Board of Education
of the Board of Education
of the West Clermont Local School District,
of the West Clermont Local School District,
Clermont County, Ohio,
Clermont County, Ohio,
to the best of my ability
to the best of my ability
and in accordance with the laws
and in accordance with the laws
now in effect and hereafter
now in effect and hereafter
to be enacted
to be enacted
during my continuance in said office
in my continuance in said office
and until my successor is elected
until my successor is elected
and qualified,
and qualified.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Mrs. Spencer, and welcome to the West Clermont Board of Education.
Thank you.
Mr. Romano, will you now take the roll call for the 2024 West Clermont Local School District Board of Education?
Yes. Mr. Rudy.
Present.
Mr. Patton.
Present.
Mr. Schaff.
Present.
Ms. Sanborn.
Present.
Mrs. Spencer.
Present.
All present.
Okay, thank you. As this is the organizational meeting, our first action item is to elect the president of the Board of Education. We'd like to open to the floor nominations for the office of president.
I nominate Brian Patton for the office of president.
Okay, any other nominations?
I nominate Jim Rudy for office of president of the Board of Education.
Thank you. Any other nominations? Okay, I'll declare nominations closed. Mr. Ramon, could you take a roll?
Yes. So we'll call the roll, and as I call the roll, if you could state the name of the individual nominated that you choose for the office of president. Okay. Mr. Patton,
Mr. Patton?
Mr. Schaff,
Jim Rudy.
Mrs. Sanborn, Miss Sanborn, sorry,
Ryan Patton.
Mrs. Spencer,
Ryan Patton.
Mr. Rudy.
Jim Rudy.
The votes are 3 votes for Mr. Patton, 2 votes for Mr. Rudy. Mr. Patton is elected.
Okay, so,
Do the oath of office for Mr. Patton as president.
I think this is our stuff for the next part, right?
Yeah.
This is for you.
Raise your right hand and state your name.
I, Ryan Patton,
Swear that I will support
swear that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
perform the duties of the President
perform the duties of the President
of the Board of Education
of the Board of Education
of the West Clermont Local School District,
of the West Clermont Local School District,
Clermont County, Ohio,
Clermont County, Ohio,
so help me God.
so help me God. So we will transition to now I will start the meeting. So thank you. So our next order of business is to nominate a vice president of the Board of Education. I would like to open the floor for nominations for the office of vice president.
I nominate Jim Rudy for office of vice president for the Board of Education.
I'm sorry?
Any other nominations?
Yeah, are there any other nominations? Okay, so if not, and the hearing is none, nominations are closed. So at this point, we don't require. So, Mr. Romano, will you please call roll for the board members stating the name of the individual nominated, whom they chose for the office of vice president?
I'll take the roll, and if you could state the name. The individual nominated was Mr. Jim Rudy. Mr. Rudy.
yeah, Jim Rudy.
Mr. Patton.
Yes.
Mr.
Jim Rudy.
Schaff.
Jim Rudy.
Ms. Sanborn.
Jim Rudy.
Mrs. Spencer.
Jim Rudy.
5 votes for Mr. Rudy. Congratulations. Take the oath of office. Please raise your right hand, state your name.
I, Jim Rudy,
Swear that I will support
swear that I will support
the Constitution of the United
the
States
Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
to the best of my
to
ability,
the best of my ability,
perform the duties of the Vice President
perform the duties of Vice President
of the Board of Education
of the Board of Education
of the West Clermont Local School District,
of the West Clermont Local School District,
Clermont County, Ohio,
Clermont County, Ohio.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you.
So I think we're on 2.5.
So
So the next order is 2.05, establishing time, dates, and locations of our regular meeting for the 2024 school year. So I make a motion that we accept that, that has been given to us.
I second that motion.
Okay,
Patton
yes.
and
Ms. Sanborn.
Sanborn. There you go. Mr. Patton,
Yes.
Ms. Sanborn,
Yes.
Mrs. Spencer,
Yes.
Mr. Rudy,
Yes.
Mr. Schaff.
Yes.
5 yes.
So we'll start with apologizing. Obviously, I just took this office, so bear with me as we get through some hiccups here. So the next order of business is 2.06, and that's board committees. There's been a list of the board committees that have been around. I believe you guys had the opportunity to look at those. Is that correct?
Yes.
Does anybody have any suggestions? I'll open that up for comments.
Since finance is my profession, I would request to be on the finance committee.
Can I co-chair that with him? Please?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay. So for finance, we have listed Mr. Schaff and Mrs. Spencer.
Ms. Sanborn, is there specific committees that you would like to be a part of?
I'm on the Culture and Personnel Committee, as well as the Family Community Engagement Committee. And I had asked Superintendent Adams about being on the Business Advisory Council.
Okay. Is that okay with everybody else?
Yes.
Yes.
Jim?
I forget one more. Education?
Yeah, it looks like education was suggested in family and community,
Yes.
and then it looked like you also were on operations, and then you were
Yes.
still on the CAC.
Yep.
Okay. Well, it looks like, so we'll switch, and I'll go back to policy with Randy, and then I can do operations as well with Mr. Rudy. Has that covered all of our committees?
We need one more for policy.
Oh, I can
Mrs.
do the
Spencer.
policy.
Tammy?
Yeah, I would like to.
Thank
do
you.
that.
And then
Okay, good.
for culture, you have Ms. Sanborn and, is there another one?
We need Mr. Schaff.
David Schaff.
Mr. Schaff, okay.
And it looks like he was on the CAC as well.
Davis?
I am.
It's what, yeah, I mean, that was
Okay.
suggested if you.
Yep.
Okay.
And then,
Who's on education with me?
Oh, I was gonna do that with Rudy,
That makes sense.
since we're, that makes sense.
Yeah.
okay.
We covered it.
Want me to repeat those? So for finance, audit, and advocacy, we have Mr. Schaff and Mrs. Spencer. For culture and personnel, we have Ms. Sanborn and Mr. Schaff. For education committee, we have Mr. Rudy and Mrs. Spencer. For operations, we have Mr. Rudy and Mr. Patton. For policy, Mr. Patton and Mrs. Spencer. For family and community engagement, Ms. Sanborn and Mr. Rudy. For Citizens Advisory Committee, we have Mr. Rudy and Mr. Schaff. Correct? And so you want to have somebody entertain a motion to approve the board committee members?
Would someone like to
I
motion?
make a motion that we approve the board committee assignments.
Second?
Ms. Sanborn moved and Mr. Rudy seconded.
Yes, sir.
Roll call.
Roll call.
Ms. Sanborn,
Yes,
Mr. Rudy,
Yes.
Mr. Patton,
Yes.
Mr. Schaff,
Yes.
Mrs. Spencer.
Yes.
5 yes. Thank you.
Can I comment on the committees? I'm hoping to see that they continue to stay active and we get, having the committees and being able to dive deeper into each of these topics. Moving on, it's 2.07, renewal organizational membership. As you can see, there's a couple of things listed there on the board docs as far as what we have to renew as our district. So I make, yes, if there is a motion that we accept.
So moved.
I will second.
Mr.
Call the
Romano?
roll. Mr. Rudy,
Yes.
Mr. Schaff,
Yes.
Ms. Sanborn,
yes,
Mrs. Spencer,
Yes.
Mr. Patton.
Yes.
5 yes.
Continuing on is 2.08, appointments of the board members 2024. I'm reading here, so it looks like the board should consider the appointment members or designate to serve. Well, these are some of the things that we have to do, such as we have a representative for Great Oaks, liaison, the business advisory. I believe. Yeah,
Great Oaks has been appointed already in the past. They had it for a 3-year term.
okay, oh, okay, so are we needing to appoint?
Yeah, we need to appoint all of them.
So we're needing,
The rest of them. The rest of them. May's already on there, but the legislative liaison and student achievement with OSBA
And then the Education Foundation Liaison and the Business Advisor
and business
Council.
advisory. And Mrs.
And Tina wanted to do.
Miss
business
Spencer,
advisory.
no,
Sanborn.
Miss Sanborn wanted to do business advisory.
Student Achievement Liaison is usually one person, but Tammy,
I
would
could
you
do
like
that.
to do that with
Sure,
me?
the student, yeah,
Yeah, then I can show you the ropes.
yes, please.
It's fun.
I could do that.
And I'm sorry, that was for the
Student Achievement.
Okay.
Jim and Tammy.
And I would suggest being for you to be the legislative liaisons. It's really just attending.
I was gonna say, if nobody wants a, is that what I did this year
Yeah,
at
it
Columbus?
is.
Yeah, so if nobody wants the legislative liaison at OSBA, I'll do that one.
Oh, look, Ryan's gonna take it.
That's
Yeah.
Oh, is that okay, or do you?
Oh, no, by all means, you can take it.
Okay, it was interesting,
Oh, it-
I had fun when I was it,
Oh,
when
really?
I did it, because I was the lone dissenter on TIF stuff, and
Oh,
that
boy.
made for an interesting meeting. So
Oh,
It was,
boy.
it was definitely interesting, yes.
Maybe I'll still go, maybe.
And so what's the last one that we need?
The Education Foundation.
West Carolina Education Foundation, we need a liaison.
I could do that.
You'll enjoy that. You participate, but you do not vote on anything.
Okay,
It's kind of a link.
okay,
good.
I like
It's a
that.
good group of people.
Yeah, I like.
Procedural, so it doesn't require votes.
Thank you.
209.
Okay. So moving along is the 209, that is the designation, or I'm sorry, designating an individual to serve as our designee to hear and decide suspensions and expulsions appeal. I'm assuming everybody can see the, so I guess I'll open it up as, to make a motion if anybody would approve that.
So moved.
second, we have any discussion on it?
I would like to revisit this before the beginning of next school year, if we could.
Okay.
I know they're in the middle of everything right now, this is the middle of our school year, but I would like to revisit this before the school, next year starts.
Okay. Did you make note of that? Yep. Thank you, Tammy. Is there any other discussion?
Call the roll. Mr. Rudy?
Yes.
Mr. Schaff?
Yes.
Ms. Sanborn?
Yes,
Mrs. Spencer?
Yes,
Mr. Patton?
Yes.
5 yes. And we did make that note.
Thank you. The next is 3.01, speaking at the board meetings. I'm assuming, nope, I'm getting told no, so we'll move on. Superintendent's business.
Under superintendent's business, you'll see recommendations to approving standing authorization as part of board policy. So I ask you to approve it as presented.
I'll put that on the floor. I'll put that on the floor as a form of a motion. Can I have a second?
Second. Go ahead, Dave.
No, I'll second.
Mr. Schaff?
you.
Okay.
Are there any discussions? Okay.
Mr. Patton?
Yes.
Mr. Schaff?
Yes.
Ms. Sanborn?
yes,
Mrs. Spencer?
yes.
Mr. Rudy?
Yes.
5 yes.
Item 4.02 is the state and federal programs that we oversee. And I ask that you approve it as presented.
Thank you. You've heard the motion. I'll put that out on the form. I'm sorry, you've heard the recommendation. I'll put that out on the form of a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Are there any discussions? Okay.
Mr. Patton?
Yes.
Mr. Schaff?
Yes.
Ms. Sanborn?
yes,
Mrs. Spencer?
Yes,
Mr. Rudy?
Yes.
5 yes.
And the only thing that I would like to say for my comments tonight is just to remind all of you, we have a board meeting next Monday. We're gonna be right back in action at Holly Hill. We'll start at 6 o'clock because we'll have the building tour. And then our meeting will be at 7, so we'll get into this new swing of things very quickly. Plan on your calendars, January 18th, we'll have our second town hall. It'll be facilities related. It'll be very, very similar to the one that we did at Merwin. We're hoping to have a table filled with stakeholders from every single school there. And our goal at the end of that is to to solicit another 30 people to join us, because we are looking to have 60 people total as a part of our CAT, which stands for Community Advisory Team, that will help kind of do the work for the board, do some research, and analyze with our architects, and bring back a recommendation to you next fall. And so our goal is 60 people. We have 30 so far that we are very thankful for. Additionally, this is ahead, but it's going to be here before we know it. February 27th, we'll have a Partners in Education event. That is an event where we honor our partners from every single building and one district-wide partner. We'll do a lunch. We'll incorporate our students into that meeting, as well as all of our Whole Learner Network and Business Advisory Council members. And any of you who could join us, that would be great. It's going to be at 11 o'clock at West Clermont High School. And then the next day, on February 28th, we will have our first ever State of the Schools event, which will be a showcase of student learning that we will host at West Clermont High School. Schools from across the district will be represented, and we'll be able to hear from the talented staff as well as students in how they are pursuing portrait of graduate outcomes. So that is some exciting things that we will be celebrating and working towards here in the next 2 months. That's all I have. Any questions for me?
Can you give me the date again of the
Oh,
the next
sorry.
town hall?
The town hall is January 18th. Did I say that right? Okay, all right.
So it's not at the middle school?
It is, did I say something different? It's at the middle school.
Okay.
It is at
Yeah.
the middle school.
I may have heard
We
that. So I was-
have, I might not have said middle school. We had Holly Hill is next Monday, and then the 18th, when we're at the middle school, will be the town hall.
Okay, thank
Yes.
you.
Yeah, thanks for getting that. And then everything else is at West Clermont High School
Okay.
that I mentioned.
Okay.
Okay, thanks.
So moving on
Okay.
to you, Mr. Romano, 501.
Item 5.01 is request for treasurer's authorization. The items that you see listed are not new. This is done every year. Similar to the superintendent's authorizations, these are for continuation of business. The board's elected on a calendar year. Our operations are on a school year or fiscal year from July to June 30th. So we keep this going. As Mrs. Spencer noted, earlier, things can be revisited. So none of this is in concrete, but in order for us to continue operations, as this is the organization meeting for the board, it is requested that these authorizations be approved for the treasurer moving forward.
So you've heard the recommendation. Would someone like to make a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Mr. Rudy and Mr. Schaff?
It sounds like. I'd like to open it up for any discussion. Any questions? Okay. Roll call, please.
Mr. Rudy?
Yes.
Mr. Schaff?
Yes.
Ms. Sanborn?
Yes.
Mrs. Spencer?
Yes.
Mr. Pat?
Yes.
5 yes. With my comments, again, kind of a little bit late, but wish everyone a happy new year. Looking forward to 2024. Would like to comment too that our annual financial report, which is more of a comprehensive document, was completed before the end of the calendar year. That was for the period ending June 30th. Also contained in that annual report, the audit is complete, so the auditor's opinion letter is contained in that. There were no findings, no citations. It was a very positive audit for the school district. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Romano. The next order is board comments. I'll start with you, Ms. Sanborn.
I would like to thank my constituents for voting me back into office. I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Spencer.
I'm excited to be here. This is a new part of the journey, and I'm excited to benefit from learning from everything you guys have done, and then just moving forward with the students in mind, everything we do, our North Star.
Thank you. Mr. Schaff.
Wish everyone a happy new year. Hope everybody had a great holiday. Congratulate and welcome Tina and Tammy. Congratulate Ryan and Jim to their appointments, their officer appointments, and due day. If Michael's watching, due day.
I was. Mr. Rudy.
I'd just like to welcome new board members.
welcome.
it.
Mine will be a little bit more lengthy, but not too long. So I wrote down just a couple of things. I am honored to stand before you today as the newly elected board president. I am excited to begin this new chapter in the journey of service to our community. As a parent who currently has a child in the West Clermont School District, I have a vested interest in the quality of education that our students are receiving. I am committed to working with my fellow board members to ensure that our schools are providing our students with the best possible education. I believe that all students deserve a quality education. As a board member, I am committed to ensuring that we are using taxpayers' monies wisely, and this means that we are carefully managing our expenses, investing in our schools, and providing our students with the resources that they need to succeed. We will continue to work closely with our administration to develop a realistic budget while also being mindful of our spending and making sure that we are only investing in projects that are necessary. I'm confident that together we can make West Clermont School District a place where all students can thrive. I look forward to working with my fellow board members and community members to making our schools the best that they can be, and I appreciate it. Thank you. So at this point, it looks like we do have a reason to withdraw to executive session. So it says move into executive sessions. There are certain things for the purpose of considering the appointment, employment, dismissal, disciplinary, promotion, demotion, or compensation of a public employee. To consider matters required to be kept confidential by federal law or regulation or state statute. To discuss details relative to the security arrangements and emergency responses protocol for the Board of Education. So I'll put that out in the form of a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Mr. Romano?
Mr. Patton,
Yes.
Ms. Sanborn,
Yes.
Mrs. Spencer,
Yes.
Mr. Rudy,
Yes.
Mr. Schaff.
Yes.
5 yes, go into executive session.
No, just say our next meeting.
Oh, okay, yep, so our next, actually, it's right around the corner, so actually, our next meeting will be January the 8th, 2024, and that is actually, what you already said.
It'll be at 7, but we'll start at 6 o'clock with the tour.
With the tour, and
At
it's
Holly
at Holly Hill, yes, thank you.
Yeah, and we won't be coming back to vote or take any action. from
Here,
executive
yeah.
session
Yeah.
tonight.
So this will be it. Okay.
Yep, great.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
We'll do a picture outside before we go into executive session, so Jeffrey can take care of it.